Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So first 5 minutes, yes, first 5 or 10 minutes, I have to take this information. The rotation of the Earth, the the spins on its imaginary axis from west to east in 23 hours 56 minutes and 40.91 seconds. So it is also the way they may ask one mark also. This information is taken from the NDA book. So 23 hours 56 minutes and 40.91 second. Don't tell the 24 hours, okay? And take one rotation. The days and the nights are equal at the equator, and the rotation of the Earth has the following implications, such as the causes of day and night, change in the direction of winds and the ocean currents, rise and fall of tides every day. Okay, due to new moon and full moon, the tides also will increase. Okay, this is small information. Then there are some questions from the equinox. I will explain. Equinox are the days when days and nights are equal. Days and nights are equal. It means if you take day, it may be in the 12 hours, and night also 12 hours. It will be equal day and night. Under the situation, sun is vertically overhead at the equator. Okay, you know that equator means 0 degree. At the time when the day and night are equal, sun light will be direct appearance in the equator region, 0 degree. Equinox occur in 2 days of the year, that 21st March and 23rd September. 2 days. Listen, 21st March and 23rd September. The 21st March is known as vernal equinox, and 23rd September is known as autumnal equinox. Okay, the vernal equinox, in the sense, in the moment when the sun appears to cross the celestial equator while tilting towards from the observer, taking place in March in the northern hemisphere and September in the southern hemisphere. Okay, the vernal equinox, in the sense, the moment when sun appears to cross the celestial equator while the tilting towards from the observer, taking place in March in the northern hemisphere and south in this southern hemisphere. Okay, from that I have some wait here, wait few minutes. Is it visible? Wait, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Vernal equators, let me explain what is celestial equator. The moment when the sun appears to cross the celestial equator while tilting towards from the observer. While tilting towards to the observer, it means towards to the earth, taking place in March in the northern hemisphere and September in the southern hemisphere. Then what does it mean, autumnal equinox? Okay, autumnal equinox, in the sense, the moment when the sun appearance towards cross the celestial equator while tilting away from the observers. Away from the observer means from the away means not in the towards to the land. It is away from the observers, taking place in the September in the northern hemisphere, Mars in the southern hemisphere, opposite. Okay, September in the northern hemisphere, March in the southern hemisphere. Let me explain what is celestial equator. Is the great circle of the imaginary celestial sphere on the same plan as the equator of the earth. Okay, this is the circles, and due to the tilted portion 23.5 degree, so this line is known as celestial equators. While the times we may receive two way, vernal equinox and the autumnal equinox. Equinox, in the sense, day and night will be same. When the sunlight its appearance towards the equator, at the time we are receiving the equal day and night, it will be divided into two, vernal equinox and autumnal equinox. Vernal equinox, in the sense, the moment when sun appears to the cross the celestial equator while tilting towards from the observer means see here. Okay, from the star I have given, from the observer, taking place in March in the northern hemisphere and September in the southern hemisphere. Autumnal, in the sense, opposite, it tilting away from that, tilting away from the observer, in the sense, September in the northern hemisphere, March in the southern hemisphere. Am I clear,
Yes, sir.
boys?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
If
Yes,
you are
sir.
not understanding that concept, you go through this information. Okay. 21st March and 23rd September. The 21st March is known as vernal equinox, and 23rd September is known as autumnal equinox. Okay. Then what is meant by summer solstice? What is meant by summer solstice? After the March equinox, the sun appears towards to some appears move northward and vertically overhead at the Tropic of Cancer. If it is in the equator, sun appearance will be the equinox. That sun next level it is moving towards to the Tropic of Cancer, which is known as summer solstice. Summer solstice on 21st June. This is known as summer solstice. And 21st June, the northern hemisphere will have longest day and shortest night. Northern hemisphere will have longest day and shortest night. The southern hemisphere will have shortest days and longest night. Am I clear, boys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Winter solstice. Winter
Yes, sir.
solstice in the sense the sunlight will be apparent towards to the Tropic of Capricorn, which is known as winters. When in the sense on 22 December, 22nd December, the sun overhead at the Tropic of Capricorn. This is the winter solstice when the southern hemisphere will have the longest day and the shortest night. Here, what we have to see, the sun appearance will be equator and Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, one concept. Another way, you have to see the day 21st June and year 22nd December. Understood? 21st June month means the starting the academic year. December, this 1 year is over. Just you believe that, okay? Am I clear? Okay, dear. Then some important facts I have mentioned regarding 1 month. Longest day in the northern hemisphere 21st June, and shortest days in the northern hemisphere 22nd December. Equal day and night northern hemisphere 21st March and 23rd September. Then opponent will be south. The longest day in the southern hemisphere 22 December. And for example, it is northern hemisphere for 22 June means in southern 22 December. Suppose in the southern hemisphere, so northern hemisphere 22 December in the sense year June. So it may be differentiate due to sun appearance. Shortest days in the southern hemisphere 21st June. Equal day and night in the southern hemisphere 21st March and 23rd September. So it means equal day and night in the northern hemisphere, equal day and southern hemisphere. The two will be same 21st March and 23rd September. 21st March and 23rd September. It is depends upon sun appearance. Am I clear? Then the eclipse we have to discuss. An eclipse is an astronomical event that occurs when an astronomical object is temporarily uh, obscured, either by passing into the shadow of another body or by having another body pass between it. An eclipse is a type of SYZY. Okay, SYZY. What does it mean? Okay, I will say that. SYZY, an alignment of three celestial objects, as the sun, the earth, and okay. In the sun, earth, moon system occurs at the time of full moon and new moon. This is known as SYZY. SYZY. In the sense, in the sun, earth, moon system occurs at the time of full moon and new moon. Did you understand what I'm telling? Yes, suppose in the 1 mark question, if they mention these letters like SYZY, in the sense you have to write. Suppose you have to understand that in the three celestial object standing in that same position at the same time, which will be come in the new moon and full moon time. Okay, it will be observed in the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse. What does it mean by solar eclipse and lunar eclipse? Okay, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Wait, I have the another picture also. Is it clear? Okay, solar eclipse means moon will come in between. The moon will come in between. Lunar eclipse means earth will come in between. That's all. Okay, at the time we may get some shadow condition. Clear? Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Solar in the sense moon will come in between. Lunar in the sense earth will come in between. You understand this concept? And if you want to get detailed information, I will update this information. Here everything is available. What I said, when moon comes between the sun, and the earth. This eclipse can be partial or total. It will happen only a new moon day when the moon is aligned with the sun. The solar eclipse does not occur on every new moon day. It does not come every new moon day when the moon is coming in between of the sun and earth. Then lunar eclipse, in the sense when the earth comes between the sun and the moon, it occurs only on a full moon day, but it does not occur on every full moon day because the moon is not in the same position in the relation that of the earth and the sun on every full moon day. Okay, nothing. This is the things. It will be available down also. Did you understand little bit? Here you have to understand equinox. The another thing is what we have discussed. Then summer solstice and winter solstice and some important fact and solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. Okay, some theory part. Just you have to go through. You know very well. I am giving somewhat recapturing. Don't worry. Okay. The next we have to go through about um, this one. Wait, it is some superlative information already I have uploaded. Just you go through that whenever you get free times. Highest, smallest, lowest, this information. Biggest cave temple Ellora, and the biggest stadium, biggest river valley Bhagirathi and Alaknanda, densest populated state West Bengal, fastest train Shatabadi Express running between New Delhi and Bhopal. And before that, name the Indian first private train. Can anyone? Please
Tejas.
try it. Tejas Express from where to
Vande
where?
Bharat.
Where to where?
Bangalore.
Varanasi to Delhi.
Very good. Lucknow to Delhi. In when did it? When was they released?
18.
4th October 2019.
Yeah.
4th October 2019. Why I'm telling in the sense, so far the railway network has undertaken by public sectors. The first time the government has released for the private sectors, they may ask the date also. Which government, which CM means the UP government, Yogi Adityanath. Am I right? Okay, the deepest river valley, just
Yes,
we
sir.
go through that. Highest airport plane, highest award Bharat Ratna. We will discuss only for geography. GK also you have to go. Highest battlefield Siachen Glacier, highest dam Digri Dam, highest Kalantari Award Baramvir Chakram, highest gateway, highest lake Devdar Lake, Gudwal, highest lake. Okay, so I have uploaded most of the information: largest desert, largest delta, largest district, and largest tomb, largest freshwater lake, Kulleru Lake. And here, what they will do: three lakes they will put for saltwater lake, one they will put for freshwater lake. If not, three will be given for the freshwater, one will be given for saltwater. You have to find out. So always it will be very important. For example, largest lake, Ular Lake, Kashmir Lake. Largest freshwater lake means maybe largest lake saline water Chilika. It is in the Odisha. Largest man-made lake Govind Vallabh Sagar. Largest museum, largest planetarium Birla Planetarium, which is located in Chennai. Largest population city Mumbai. Largest port Mumbai. Largest public sector bank State Bank of India. Largest riverine islands Majuli, which is in the Brahmaputra region. Largest river without delta Narmada and Tapti. Largest state area Rajasthan. Largest state population UP. Largest area Rajasthan. Largest state Uttar Pradesh. Largest zoo. Largest beach Marina Beach, and world level Prayado Kesina. Largest canal Indira Gandhi Canal in Rajasthan. Dam construction means the dam also Indira Gandhi Rana Pratap Sagar dam construction. Then its largest dam, Hirakud Dam, which is located in the Mahanadi River, which is the longest river in Asia. Okay, just when you get free times, I have made it whatever the superlative information I made it. Just you go through that. Did you understand what I'm telling,
Yes, sir.
boys?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, yesterday one of my students, you people, one of your friends asked this one, sir, list of hydroelectric power plants in India. So I have taken from the Byju's information because Byju's nowadays they are giving little bit UPSC information. That's what I have taken. Andhra Pradesh, what is the river? Krishna River. What is the hydropower plants? Nagarjuna Sagar hydropower plants. Andhra Pradesh, same way in Krishna, there will be Sri Sailam hydro electric power plants. Okay, and whatever it is important in the sense, Nagarjuna Sagar is important, Sardar Sarovar hydroelectric power, it is in the Narmada, and Himachal Pradesh Satluj Bakranangal project, which is too important because you might have studied in the 10th class water resource, where they used to ask the repeated question of Sardar Sarovar, Bakranangal Dam. You don't want to study the entire, at least you read it once again, two times you read. When the options come, automatically okay. And peace, it is Dahagar hydro power plants, it is the Indus tributaries. Satluj, Nathpa, Jagre hydro electric power plants. Jammu and Kashmir Chenab and Jhelum Salal project, which is two important Salal hydroelectric power. So Bagranangal, Salal, and another one is Nagarjuna Sagar, Sardar Sarovar. Okay, this is all you have to make it like int, and you have to go through continuously. And Subarnarega hydroelectric power in Jharkhand, which is too important. And they may ask, in Jharkhand is good for coal facilities, Chotanagpur Plateau good for coal facilities, and the proximity of which hydroelectric power is supporting means Subarnarega, and they may give some of the things, and you have to find out Subarnarega. And Saravati River, Saravati hydroelectric power in Karnataka, and Kaveri Sivasamudram hydroelectric, which is too important because related to that, I will give one of the information which is available in down in Periyar Idukki hydroelectric power, and Madhya Pradesh Bansagar hydroelectric power. Am I clear? Are you listening, man?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose if someone might have taught this one, you tell me, sir, we know. We have to go another topic. Mean I have number of topic. We will go. And Madhya Pradesh Narmada Indra Sagar hydroelectric power plants. Madhya Pradesh and UP. It is also, there are some projects maybe interlinked with two rivers, two states, or else tri-junction means three states will be there. It is too important. Underline. Raigand hydroelectric power, which is in the UP. Yes, UP areas. It is the Ganga tributaries. Maharashtra Koyana, which is too important. Koyana hydroelectric power. Manipur Limtok or Loktok hydroelectric power, which is too important. And at the same time, I have given one more Kimpal. There was a floating lake. What was the lake name? Floating lake.
Loktak Lake.
Yes, very good. The same only Loktak. So what does it? What the thing means? Water will be available, but the land masses like flora and fauna are available in between of the land, like highlands. So in the sense they made it like a floating. Okay, it means the land masses is available. Uh, Floras will be available above the water bodies. Then Odisha, you see, Odisha, there are two, Siliru and Maganadi, uh, uh, Palimela and Irakut. And so far, we didn't hear about the Palimela, and just to go through that, Sikkim, Ranjit, and T-Star, Sikkim T-Star, which is two important Himalayas also we discussed, and which means central Himalayas between of T-Star and Digang rivers, which is too important. And Uttarakhand, Bhagirathi, Degri hydroelectric power. They may ask about rivers, these things and that things. And Nathpa and Baspa 2 and Himachal Pradesh Peace Badoh Dam. Okay, there are number of things are available. Just to you go through that. Some facts they have given facts about hydroelectric power plants India. Vindhyachal Thermal Power Station in Madhya Pradesh is currently the biggest thermal power plant in India, which is too important. Okay. So far, whatever we have discussed, which is available, but which is the biggest power plant in currently in the sense, Vindhyachal Thermal Power Plants in Madhya Pradesh. And the Koyana hydroelectric power, it is located in Karnataka, the largest completed hydroelectric power plants in India. Just to go through the second point, the second and third one is first hydroelectric power station was the Sivasamudram hydroelectric power station, which is too important here. Okay, in the world level, which is in the Norway, And in India, first hydro electric power station was set up in the Sivasamudram. Already we discussed. Sivasamudram is located in which river?
Kaveri.
Kaveri.
Very good, very good. Okay, which is the Asia first hydroelectric power station?
Sivasamudram.
Yes. Okay, this is the Alva question. The next one is types of thermal power plants. Okay, as you asked, I have mentioned that there are classified according to the heat source of follows sources as follows: coal field, gas, diesel or liquid fuel, geothermal, biogas, and the waste material. India mainly uses three types of thermal power plants, which are listed below, along with their installed capacity as of April 2019 current information. Coal, how much megawatt with help of coal, how much megawatt of electricity we are getting. With help of gas, how much megawatt of electricity we are getting. With help of liquid fuel diesels, how much we are getting. Okay, the electricity generated by these plants adds up 71% of the total power generation in India. Okay, they may ask in the thermal power plant how much percentage of electricity is we receive in the sun, 71%. Okay, my question is, in hydroelectric power, how much percentage of electricity is we received? In 10th class you have studied, no? Water resources. Option A 21, option B 22, option C 23, option C 24.
22.
Very good, very good, very good. Yes, correct, 22. Right. List of thermal power plants in India. So I have made it. Madhya Pradesh, Amarkandak thermal power plants. Maharashtra, Amaravati thermal power plants. Maharashtra. Uttar Pradesh, Anapara thermal power plants. Bihar, Baruni thermal power plants. Karnataka, Bellary thermal power plants. Chhattisgarh, Bhilai thermal power plants. Because last year you have studied, no, minerals and energy resources. Minerals and energy resources. You know the jargon, Chhattisgarh. This is if you study this one, the same things is available coal field. Okay, then iron and steel plants as well as coal field, which is Bellary thermal power plants, Bhilai thermal power plants, Bokaro thermal power plants, Maharashtra, Chandrapur thermal power plant, Rajasthan, Jaghapura thermal power plants, Uttar Pradesh, Dadri thermal power plant, West Bengal, Durgapur thermal power plant, which is too important. Durgapur, just to go through that. Tamil Nadu, Ennur thermal power plant, West Bengal, Faraka thermal power plant. The next one is any national power plants? Is there any park? Is there any botanical garden like that you have to do? And Sanjay, Satpura thermal power plants, Madhya Pradesh. So I have made it number of things. Just you go through that. Okay. Will you read? Read it. Okay. It will be very useful. Then, then it is also because some descriptive type question. The major factors taken into the consideration while location Yeah, thermal power plants. What are the major factors of location thermal power plant? Terrain means land, topography of the land masses, means hilly and mountain plateau region. Availability of fuel and waters. Wherever we are keeping in thermal power plants, we need water as well as land. Proximity to the population centers, means near to the population center. Accessibility, all the things we have to be received as soon as. Okay, these are all the things. The nuclear
Ular Lake.
power.
What? Sir.
Which one? Ular Lake.
Ular Lake is
Sir,
salt.
one doubt, sir.
Ular Lake is salt in a freshwater lake only. No, Ular means it is in Jammu and Kashmir. No, dear, Ular Lake.
Sir,
Em-
for hydroelectric power, what will
Yes.
be this requirements?
Which one?
Water.
No, sir, that you should.
This one,
Yeah,
thermal
sir.
power
The
plant.
major
No,
factors. No, sir, major factors for.
here, na. Yeah, why we need water, na? In the thermal power plants, we are utilizing the water because the purifying that, and afterwards that water will be mingled with in a pollution we studied, no man. In thermal power plant, hot water without making cool and directly they mingle to the. It is there, no. The steams,
No,
thermal
sir,
power.
it should be close to population center or away from population.
Proximity means the meaning is near only, no.
Close.
Yes, near to the population center, because we need to running of that at the same it should be benefited to the people, so that's what near to the. At the same times to running that power plants we need labor forces, no, that also. Next, nuclear power plants. Only I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here.
Sir,
Yes.
one doubt, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, Sambar Lake is the largest saltwater lake or Chilika Lake, sir?
Chilika is the largest saltwater lake. Sambar is Rajasthan. But the deposition
Chilika
of Sambar, the deposition of salt, it is first. But saltwater lake, largest saltwater lake is Chilika. But deposition of salt is highest means Sambar Lake. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes,
due
sir.
to sunlight, man, here in Odisha we may get large amount of equable climate. Wind will be changed and moisture also will be there. But in Rajasthan, only for the high temperature, all the oxygen will be evaporated. Only sodium will be condensed in that place. Understood?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
And here power station, nuclear power plants, only these
Yes, sir.
information is studied. Kaika, Kalpakam, Kagrabar, and Rawatpata, Tarapur, and Narora. Narora, it is in the UP. Okay, Narora, Uttar Pradesh. Narora, Uttar Pradesh, and Tarapur, Maharashtra, Rawatpata, Rajasthan, Kagrabara, Gujarat, Kalpakam, Tamil Nadu, and Kaiga, Karnataka. KK, okay, Kaiga, Karnataka. It is EST. Only this much I have taken enough. This much alone you study. Then can you try this one? Match the followings.
Yes, sir.
Please make use of your time. And if it is the wrong, no problem. I have the answer. I will tell. Dulbul
Show
project.
option, sir.
Option.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes. How, man? Correctly you found. Have you studied well?
Put in Godavari.
Yes,
One
yes,
option
yes.
is
One option you received. That's it. The next one.
Ranjit
Very
Sir
good.
also.
Very good. Okay. So option A is the right one. Okay, option A. I will update today itself. Which is the first atomic powerhouse of India?
Tarapur.
Tarapur.
Undoubtedly, your answers are correct. Which of the following Indian atomic powerhouse structure shows highest resemblance Fukushima Daiichi of Japan? It is
Kudangulam.
yes, Kodangulam, right? Because we and Japan have some collaboration ways we have done. That's what this one Kodangulam. Which was the first largest hydro power project in India? Sivasamudram Dam. Yes. Very good. Which was the first electrified city? India first electrified. What is your answer?
Chandigarh.
Darjeeling, dear. Darjeeling. 1972, you might have studied. No, first hydroelectricity power initiated in that in India, 1972 in Darjeeling. In 10th standard, you might have studied water resources. Okay, 1972. Now, make that. Which of the following is not correctly matched?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
very good, very good, very good. Then, which among the following is not thermal power project? Is not a thermal power project.
Kudangalam.
Pojampad.
7.
Kudangalam, sir.
Oh dear, Kudangalam is thermal power plant. No, this one option C.
Pochampad.
Champad project. Kudangalam is the thermal power plant. No, dear.
Nuclear.
Power plant means my question is wrong. Okay, okay, it means the question wrong. No problem. Learn. When was the Atomic Energy Commission established?
1950.
48. 48. 1948. Okay, 19 after independence. Okay, keep it after independence. When was the first nuclear power reactor established?
67.
60? You came. No, dear, 69. Okay, 69. So almost your answers also near to that. So whatever you are doing, just you think and do it. Okay, you are finding correctly. When was the National Hydroelectric Power Corporation (NHPC) established?
1935.
Very good, very good. 75 is correct. Then last class, one of my students asked, why does France have 12 time zones? Okay. France has, let me give within 2 minutes. France has more time zones than any other country at 12 worldwide. This is due to France far-flung overseas areas. Since the mainland European part of France uses just one time zones, Wallis and Futuna are so far east around the world in other direction that they are nearly in the same time zones. Okay, I understood you don't clear this point, so that I made it map also. Look at that information map. Okay, and France has a number of territorial boundary, so that it's supposed to constitute land of the French Republic. So it's supposed to take number of time zones. For example, if you take here this border, they have to Wallis and Fortuna, their time zones they have utilized, and here they want to understand Caledonia, New Caledonia time zones they are following in the eastern part, and the western northwestern part they are following 1 2 3 4 time zones they are following, and as well as in up also their Society of Islands, Marrakesh, and the French Polynesia. At the same times in the south western part in French Guyana, they are following different time zones. From here, the highlands will be there, and 1 to 3 time zones they are following. Because of that only, they are receiving number of time zones. Am I clear? I hope you got it. If not, I will update this information. Just you read it and you go through this map analysis, and it will be fine. Okay, what I told on the day depends upon longitude, and depends upon east-west extents. The number of time zones timeline will be calculated, but France allows more. You asked why? Because of this territorial boundary annexed by other highlands as well as other areas, so they supposed to follow the boundary territorial time zones also. Because of that only, then this is so due to the variation dependencies and overseas territories. This is the answer. Overseas territories around the world, the time zones are, I have mentioned here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 up to 12 I have given here. Just you go through that. Okay, clear, boys? Whatever I give you the map, I have your theory part also. Just you go through. I do not want to waste the time. Okay, because you know why I wants to read. Then what does UTC time zones mean? You know very well. Just I want to recall. Universal Time Coordinated Period 1972. This time zone was called Greenwich Mean Time (GMT), but is now referred to as Coordinated Universal Time or Universal Time Coordinated (UTC). It is a coordinated time scale maintained by Bureau International Days Voids Head Measures BIPM. It is also known as Z time and Zulu time. It is what we are telling GMT. Same way now the coordinated universal time means all the entire country have agreed that one. So they have taken universal time coordinated. Okay. And where is UDC time zones? The UDC, the World Time Standard, Coordinated Universal Time, is the basis for civil time today. This 24-hour time standard is kept using highly precise atomic clocks combined with the Earth rotation, the Greenwich Meridian in London, in England. Did you understand? Now, after reading this one, guys,
Yes.
suppose why means they asked about UTC, you have well known the concept, but the UTC why we have to? That's what I have mentioned. Is GMT and UTC the same? The Greenwich Mean Time is often interchanged or confused with coordinated UTC time. Although GMT and UTC share the same current time in practice, there is a basic difference between two. GMT is a time zones officially used in some Europeans and African countries, European and African country, but UTC followed by all the countries. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have to go for other concept. Wait. Clear. These three are clear. This also we have discussed. And equinox you are clear. And wait few minutes. I will take another information. Transport we will discuss because we didn't discuss transport. I made it the video also. Materials also. Wait few minutes. The transport, one or two questions are available always all the question paper here. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
India is the second largest railway network in Asia and third largest in the world after USA and China. It is the largest public sector undertaking of the country and it is the world's second largest railway network under single management because it is related to the public sectors. Now the private sectors also have come. The first Indian railway line in India was operated for public traffic in 1853 between Mumbai to Thane over 34 kilometer during Dalhousie period. The second train ran between Howrah and Hooghly in 1854, Kolkata and West Bengal. Am I clear? Hooghly is famous for cultivation of
Jute.
very good. Very good. Yeah, you have the knowledge, man. You have to crack UPSC because whatever question I'm asking, you are telling. Somewhat you have to attend the test. Okay, number of tests if you go through, your knowledge will be increased. The first electric train in India was Deccan Queen. It was introduced in 1929 between Bombay and Pune. You have to read this all the things. The headquarters of Indian Railways is in New Delhi. The fastest train in India is the Agra Delhi Katimam Express, whose maximum speed is understand 160 kilometer per hour. So just to go through this one, like a GK question only. India has 17 time zones. So far, before it was about 16. Now it is 17 time zones. And later I have given which is the latest railway zones. Which is the latest railway zones. I have mentioned that. India has 17 railway zones of Indian Railway as the second biggest electrified system in the world after the Russia. Is the first metro rail was introduced in Calcutta on 24th October 1984. Two stations connected were Dum Dum and Galagchiam. Beside Kolkata Metro Rail is on operation in Chennai, Delhi, Bangalore, Gurgaon and Mumbai. You know that in Chennai, when did they introduce metro station? Hello?
Sir, don't know, sir.
No, no.
No idea.
Recently, no. I mean, I think this not for decade before. couple of years only, 2000 something only will come. Can anyone check? The oldest steam engine, Parry Queen, still runs on rail. Uttar Pradesh has the longest railway network in Howrah Junction, is busiest railway junction of India. Uttar Pradesh is the famous one because which is the largest platform in India.
Gorakhpur.
Gorakhpur.
Very good, Gorakhpur. Okay. How at the time, how many railway platform are there? How many railway platform? Huh?
11.
No, option A 22, option B 24, option C
24.
23, option very good, 24. You are correct, man.
24.
You have the knowledge. Yes, 24. Very good, 24. Railway track electrification was introduced in year 1920s. The first two section from Victoria Terminus to Kurla from Victoria Terminus to Bandara were electrified. Anil Gagadhar Committee. It is too important. Anil Gagadhar Committee was constituted for railway safety in 2011. They may ask when and which committee, where to where. Vivek Express, it has the longest train route in India connecting the Diburga and Kanyakumari. Diburga, where it is?
Assam.
Assam.
Very good.
Assam.
Assam.
Yes. It is the eighth longest. It is eighth longest in the world. Previously in Imsagar Express, Jammu and Kashmir was the longest express. Okay. There are some questions even I don't know. That's what I have made it some unknown information. Just you read it. You might have know. Just you recall it. Konkan Railway, it runs from the Mangalore to Roga, 40 kilometers south of Mumbai. Konkan Railway connect Maharashtra, Karnataka and Goa. You know that Western Coastal Plain, Gujarat Plain, Konkan Plain, Kannada Plain and Malabar Coast. Okay, just you go through that. Then also Metro Rail is running in Kolkata, Chennai, Jaipur, Bangalore, Kurgan and Mumbai. 1943 Nagpur plan classifies the road into 4 categories. Okay, so we have to go about the road network afterwards. So before whatever we have discussed, it is related to GK. So hereafter only we are going to discuss about the major network of transportation. In 1943, Nagpur plan classified the road into 4 categories. In 10th class, we have studied in the 4 category, but when we don't know that 1943 Nagpur plan, National Highway, State Highway, District Highway, Village. Indian road network is the 3rd largest in the world. India has road network over 4.42 million kilometers. National highways are constructed and maintained by Central Public Work Department. This information carried by this NDA library book, UPSC book, NDA information. And some of the important information regarding national highways are NH5 and NH17 run along the eastern and western coast respectively. They may ask that in eastern western coastal plain what type of NH means, NH5 and NH17. And if you want to get more information, go to Google and type it. Okay, NH15 represent the borders roads in Rajasthan desert. Already you know that last year in 10th class you have studied lifeline of national economic NH15. NH47 is the shortest highways in the Indian railway network. Shortest. NH44 is the longest highway in India, which covers 3,745 kilometer and connects Srinagar to Kanyakumari. National Highway Development Program, Golden Quadrilaterals programs involve connectivity Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai and Chennai. This is what Golden Quadrilateral. Can you tell how much kilometer for Golden Quadrilateral? You studied in the 10th class. Am I right?
4,500.
Not correct. Please try it. Check it. How much? 4,500. Is it right? It is. Check it, man. Are you checking? Okay. Golden Quadrilateral program involves connectivity Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai and Chennai. NH22, NH8, NH76, NH79. Have you checked? Hello? Okay.
5,840.
Yes, sir.
5,000.
5846 kilometers.
Very good. That's what. That's what. I don't know. That's what
5846
I have.
kilometers.
Okay, you keep it with you. Okay, 500 and 5,846. Okay, 5,846. I'm also unknown 5,846, and we previously it was about near about 6 something. Now it is reduced. Then Mumbai to Chennai, NH4, NH7, and NH46 may be asked. Chennai to Kolkata, NH5, NH6, NH60, which is giving the connectivities of Golden Quadrant, North South and East West corridor. North-South corridor connects Srinagar to Kanyakumari, and East-West corridor connect Porbandar, Gujarat to Silchar in Assam. What is the kilometer between Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh?
2913.
2912.
Very good. 2913. 2933 or 2913?
2931.
Yeah, not correct. This is year 3214 from north to south, 2933. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
North, South, and East West corridor cross the Jhansi at Jhansi, UP. The maximum length of highway is present in UP. It is also maybe asked. Maximum length of highway is present in UP. Railway and network. This highway also in UP only. Undoubtedly, you give an answer. And the road transport. Let me give only for the important points. India has its count in countries which is having the largest road network worldwide, and total length 42.3 lakhs kilometers, and the road transport carries 85% of passenger, 70% of freight in the sense goods, raw material from traffic everywhere. The second attempt was made after independence with 20 years road plan 1961 to improve the condition. It is too important, and they may ask the first plan when it was 19 first
43.
plan. Very good.
43.
Okay, let me check your answers are correct or not. Wait, let me check. Your answers 1943, Subab. Okay, you are in online. They may ask to improve the condition of roads in India, but still the roads continue to concentrate in and around urban centers, and rural and remote areas remain less connected by roads. They may ask in which plan. Okay, you have to write 1961. And it's referred to road which are constructed and maintained by central government, NH central government, and I have given year 1951. What is the 2008 and 2009? The total length of the national highway was 70,934, and it was about 1951 19,700. So how much it has improved. Okay, and the highways connect the state capital, major cities, important ports, railway junction, etc. It's carry 40% of road traffic, despite they constitute only 1.67% of total length. So you have to tell. Then golden quadrilaterals, it is available here, Kolkata, Chennai, and Mumbai. Whatever length we have discussed in previously. National Highway, it is maintained by Central Public Work Department, and National Highway 1, historical Sirsa Suri, Mark 1, Delhi to Amritsar. State Highway maintained by Public Work Department, and District Road maintained by Jilla Parishad. Others road like Pradhan Mantri Gram and Sadak Yojana. Did you understand up to now?
Yes,
Then,
sir.
and here we have to study border road organization, which is too important. 1960, you studied all about the 10th book information, NCERT book information. That's you studied. Why I made it means short period. You studied somewhat. You have to recall. That's what. In between, I have made it somewhat information. Border road organization construct and maintains roads in the bordering areas of the country. That is too important. The Ilian mountain area, borders road territory, which type of road work in the sense border road organization. A strategic importance in the north and northeastern borders of areas. BRO major achievement, construction of road in high altitude mountain terrain, joining Chandigarh with Manali. That is too important. Chandigarh with Manali, Himachal Pradesh, and Leh in Ladakh. This road is located at an average height of 4,270. The same height only available in the Swalik regions also. The border roads was 40,450 kilometer in 2005, which was constructed by BRO density of the road. Okay, it is too important here. 2005 information, how much? Okay, BRO 40,450. And you know that how the density may be calculated is influenced by okay, look at that here. The density of road is influenced by the nature of terrain and levels of economic development, as most of northern state and the major southern state high density of road. UP has the highest road density 530 32.27 kilometer, whereas Himalayan region, northeastern region, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan have low density of road. Jammu and Kashmir has a lowest and road density 10.4 kilometer. This average you study. At the same time, the adjoining areas, no, they may ask Himachal Pradesh, Himalayan region, northeastern state, Madhya Pradesh, and Rajasthan also. And the national highway, I have checked the one or two question paper. They asked about match the following about the national highway, so that I have made it up to 9. It is NDA book. NH1 to NH9 it is available. NH15 means Rajasthan, and year 10, 12, 10, 11, 12, 24, 27, 28, 47 up to. Okay, just you go through that. Am I clear, man?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this match the following somewhat. Okay, go through that. At least last one, first one we study. Then Indian Railway information we studied. Most of them we have studied. The being largest government undertaking in India, Indian Railways network, 64,460 kilometer, 31st March 2011 information. The new geography book in 10th class this year. Okay, this information, latest information, go through that. The next one is railway zones headquarters, that is central. It is asked many questions. If you go for all the group 4 as well as UPS examination, match the followings they may ask. Central Mumbai CST, Eastern Kolkata, Eastern Central Ajipur, Eastern Coastal Bhubaneswar, Northern New Delhi, and North Central Allahabad, Northeastern Gorakhpur, Northeastern Frontier, Guwahati, Northwestern Jaipur, Southern Chennai, Southern Central Secunderabad, Southern Eastern Kolkata, Southern Eastern Central Bilaspur, and Southern Western Hubli, Western Mumbai, Church Gate, West Central Jabalpur. The last one is Metro. That's what I know. Which is the latest railway zones means Metro Kolkata. Did you understand what I'm telling, boys?
Yes.
Okay then. Here in
Yes, sir.
map-based question, yes, tell me, dear. Do you have any doubt? Here the map-based.
Visakhapatnam, that coastal railway.
Yes. Visakhapatnam. Didn't I give?
That is the recent one, no, sir.
Not for this one. It means 18. You go to Google and check it now itself. How many railway zones are there in India? Make it, get it information.
Sir.
18. Am I right? 17 or 18?
18, sir.
It means
18.
latest from Visakhapatnam. Okay, thank you, dear. Thank you. Okay, like that information, if you tell now, everybody will understand. Thank you. Then here, this one taken from the 10th book, the international airport as well as international seaport. The next class onwards, I will give the number of question papers from board. Same way they used to give the dot as well as the identification will be there, and you have to find out the options. Okay, for example, international airport, Amritsar, Raj Chansi, in Delhi, Indira Gandhi International Airport, and Mumbai, Chhatrapati Shivaji. Why I have taken in the sense you studied this one, you prepared purely for board exam in 10th class. That's what I have taken same map. It will be very easy for you. Then Kolkata, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Then next one is Meenambakkam, then Thiruvananthapuram airport. Okay, Seaport 12 will be there, 6 will be western side, western coastal plain, and the 6 will be eastern coastal plain. One is for which is the uh, first port after the independence. India, which is
Allahabad, Haldia.
which one? Which is the
Allahabad, Haldia.
no. Which is the first port introduced after the independence when the partition of India and Pakistan?
Kandala, sir.
Very good, Kandla. Very good, Kandla. Before that, in western part, the famous port is Karachi. When the partition happened, Karachi have gone to Pakistan side, and we have taken for Kandla port. Am I right? Then Mumbai port,
Yes,
Chhatrapati, very good. Then Jawaharlal Nehru, no, yes, Jawaharlal Nehru port and Marmugao port, New Mangalore port, Kochi port, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here Tuticorin 6. Okay, and here um, Chennai Meenambakkam 1, and the next one is Visakhapatnam port, Haldia port, Paradip port, Haldia port, Kolkata port, and here Port Player. Okay, here also port is there, man. Port Player, totally 6 6. Okay, understood. Okay, this information whatever I sent, just you go through it, because this information already you studied. Question also available in book only. Then the railway gauge. Okay, railway gauge, broad gauge, meter gauge, and narrow gauge. The broad gauge means the latest 1.676 meter, and the total length is I have given as of latest information 2011. And the meter gauge in the sense which has middle of the technology has improved 1 meter. Narrow gauge in the sense 0.762, which is like hilly and mountain areas. Okay, these three you have to study. uh, Meter or 0.610, for example, um, Sagayatri Western Ghats. Okay, and Nilgiri Hills. No, if you go, there will be train Metupalayam to Uti, and if you see that the narrow gauge only 0.61 meters. Okay, so go through that. That will be important. Okay, then introduction metro rail in Kolkata to Delhi. Some theories are available. Development of railway in India was started by the Britishers, and after the independence, the scenario has been changed by extending railway routes to the other areas. Konkan railways along the western coast, which provide a distinct line between Mumbai, a direct line between Mumbai and Mangalore, were the significant development in this regard, because the ancient time they have set up the only decentralized sector in the manufacturing. Here, Mumbai area in western part and Kolkata in Chennai, only three metropolitan cities have used for the port facilities. Okay, at that time the British have developed that area. Okay, and historical information also I have given. In Konkan Railway is one of the most important achievements of Indian Railway, which was constructed in 1998. It is a 760-kilometer long rail route which connect Roga in Maharashtra to Mangalore in Karnataka. It is considered an engineering marvel. The railway is still the most important means transport for the masses in the hill state. You know that this is the coastal plain here. Due to the Mumbai busy, then Chhatrapati Shivaji, no, here, Jawaharlal Nehru Port busy, so they have made it the another one. That is what this one go through. Okay, central part of India and Rajasthan, the railway network is relatively less dense. You know that why the railway network is suitable only for the northern plain in the sense, because the railway line is not suitable for hilly areas, because unrelated topographic railway is impossible, and the peninsular plateau is failure for the eastern part, because Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, the dense rivers will be there, impossible. Rajasthan region impossible, because the desert will not be given the stiff condition. Even the railway is available also. The due to the sunlight, the iron will be melted. Am I right? So that the UP these regions will be more familiar, because northern plain. Did you understand what I'm telling? Boys? Okay, dear. The another things inland and waterways. Let me give somewhat information. Go through and see here. NW1, National Waterway 1, National Waterway 2, National Waterway 3, and 4, 5. Okay. For your best understanding, National Waterway 1 is Ganga. National Waterway 2 is Brahmaputra. Okay. Remember, National Waterway 1 is Ganga. National Waterway 2 is Brahmaputra. National Waterway 3 is Chambakara Channel. In 10th class you studied, just to go through. National Waterway 4 is Godavari and Krishna because Puducherry. Okay, Krishna is in Andhra and above that Godavari. In between, the Kakinada Puducherry National Waterway 4. National Waterway 5 is Brahmagiri. It is in the Maganadi Delta. So reverse name just to memorize. Afterwards, you have to read. It will be very useful. For example, see date of declaration also available, but last moment we cannot do. Just you read it. Okay, just you read it. When the options is available, you may do it. Okay. National Waterway 1 is Ganga. National Waterway 2 is Brahmaputra. National Waterway 3 is Chambakara. It is in the south of Kerala. Okay, in the western coastal canal in Kerala. And 4 is Kakinada, Godavari, and Krishna, Puducherry region. 5 is Maganadi River. Did you understand, boys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then oceanic routes and this theory you have to study. It will be very useful. And national waterways here: Ganga River, Brahmaputra River, Uttayaga Mandalam. It is Kollam, Kerala, and Godavari Krishna I given. And if you do not understand the previous information, you study this one because it is the NDA. Your book only I have taken NDA book. Go through this one. It will be very useful. Distance wise also you make it. Most probably like this question will come. Match the followings. If you are known one or two answer, automatically you will get match the followings. Always good because easily we can find out. Then port, the west eastern coastal plain, Kolkata, Paradip, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Tuticorin, Ennore. And look at that Tuticorin and Ennore, Tamil Nadu too will be there. Just to go through, and they may ask which two important ports are available in South India. It may be collapsed question will ask, just to go through. And western place and air transport. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, I said
is
in
Ennore,
Ennore. Tell me, dear.
Ennore Port and Chennai Port both are same, sir. Are these both?
Wait. Tuticorin artificial deep. Yes, Ennore Chennai is same only. Same. Very good. First in corporatized major port in India. Ennore and Chennai is same only. The another west is you have to take east is that port player. Then air transport. I have given. This is the latest information. Air Authority of India is responsible for providing safe, efficient air traffic and aeronautical communication service in India. Airspace now it is managed 126 airports, including 11 international, 86 domestic, 29 civil enclaves, defense airfield. There are two corporation, Air Indian and Indian Airlines, which manages air transport in India. Both corporates were nationalized in 1953. Now many private companies have also started the passenger. Okay. In helicopter service, which service, man? Helicopter service. Very good. Bauhan's helicopter. Okay, very good. Superb. Then here the history of Indian Airlines I have given. 1911 air transport in India was launched between Allahabad and Naini. 19 this what is this 1947, sorry for that, 1947. Air transport was provided by four major companies, namely Indian National Airways, Tata Sons Limited, Air Service of India, and Deccan Airways. 1951, four more companies joined the services: Bharat Airways, Himalayan Aviation Limited, Airways India, and Kalinga Airlines. 1953, air transport was nationalized and two corporation. That BOS is the major organization in India which provide helicopter service in hilly areas for tourism, northeastern sectors, and mainly to the petroleum sectors and tourism. ONGC, okay, ONGC only managed oil, natural gas private limited, ONGC. International airport, whatever we have discussed, again I made it for your better understanding. Box question, go through that. Oil and natural gas pipeline. And here the Asia first cross-country pipeline. Listen, oil is responsible for exploration, production, and transportation crude oil and major achievement is the construction of Asia first cross-country pipeline. You know the HVJ pipeline, Azira, Vijaypur, Jagadishpur. Azira, it is available in Azira. It is the place of Gujarat. Vijaypur, it is in the Madhya Pradesh, and Jagadishpur, it is in the UP. How much kilometer? In 10th class you studied, no? HVJ pipeline. Am I clear, man? Gujarat to it is moving to Delhi also. The UP to it is moving to Delhi. How much kilometer HVJ pipeline? Option A 1600, option B 1700, option C 1800, option C, option D 1900. Which one?
1000.
600.
600. Very good. Okay, so 600. The pipeline covers a distance 11,157 kilometer from Nagarkatia oil fields, Assam, in Baruni refineries in Bihar, which is the oldest oil field in India. Very good. Where it is located? Where it is
Assam.
okay. Okay, the 80% of oil fields is taken from in India. Mumbai. Very good.
Mumbai.
Very good. Okay. Super. In 1966, the pipeline was further extended to Kanpur and UP. Okay, just to read that. The major oil field, three important network from oil fields in Upper Assam to Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh, from Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar in Punjab, Uttar Pradesh to Jalandhar in Azira, Vijaypur, Jagadishpur, which is two important HVJ pipeline, 1600 kilometer. And apart from the western regions of India, oil also constructed extensive network pipeline, Angleshwar, Koyali, Mumbai High, Koyal and Asira Vijaypur Jagadishpur pipeline, what we have discussed, and 1256 long pipeline which transport crude oil from Gujarat to Punjab Jalandhar, what we have discussed, and here I have made it a small info, this kilometer wise. Then communication satellite, communication network. We have to discuss somewhat satellite related information for upcoming classes. There are two types of communication: personal communication, mass communication. You know that. Okay, the personal communication will come inland letter, postcard, these all the things. Mass communication, radio, television, these all the things. Mass communication system, radio broadcasting was started in 1923 by Radio Club of Bombay. Within short time, it gained immense popularity and become the part of every household in India. After seeing the popularity, the government of India in 1930 took control of this mode of communication under the Indian broadcasting system. It was changed into All India Radio in 1936 and to Agashwani in 1957. This information taken from the 10th class last lesson, Lifeline of National Economic. Uh, I didn't nowhere seen this much of questions in India, but as we have discussed in Lifeline of Transportation, go through this also, no problem. Only few information, not for more. After first television broadcasting was started in national capital in 1957 till 1972, it was the only urban place where TV service were available. After 1972, several other centers become operational. In 1976, TV broadcasting service were separated. All India Radio. Why it may be the Doordarshan DD Doordarshan 1976 afterwards. Then it may be asked one more question. The match the following, sir. Go through. It revolutionary development afterwards. They developed in satellites insert national television T1 when common national programs CNP was started for the entire network for its service were extended to the backward of remote sensing, remote rural areas. Then satellite communication. Here you do not want to read that much. Just whatever I highlighted points green. And the INSAT was established in 1983. It is multi-purpose satellite system for telecommunication, meteorological observation, and for various other data program. and remote sensing satellite. What is remote sensing? Remote means far away, sensing means collecting information. For example, Amazon regions, something is happened, we cannot go there. So what we have to do, with help of satellites, we have to make the radars and the sensors will, with help of sunlight, we can find that information, which is doing the remote sensing information. IRS system started in India with launch in March 1988 from the Baikonur in Russia. India has also developed its indigenous launching vehicle, PSLV Polar launching vehicles, and Indian remote sensing agencies, NRSA at Hyderabad, is responsible for facilitating uh, acquisition of data and this processing. Okay, these are all the information, but satellite read it. Okay, for example, IRS, INS, INSAT. Okay, so EduSat, this is and all you study a little bit. Okay, these notes just you go through that, it will be very useful. Boys, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the next class I have to take little bit economics class. Okay, based on syllabus, I will bring it some information. I will teach that. Afterwards, I will give the number of whichever topic I not covered so far. I will bring it. Economics, I thought of going to do. Understand? Because civics, SAR has taken the responsibility. In economics, geography, I will take responsibility. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Today, yes.
Yes, sir.
Before Saturday, I will give the economics materials to you. And whenever the class is available, we will discuss 5-year plans and the GDP, GNP, and as well as NFT, net for foreign transaction, and money and credit, and repo rate. Okay, RBI. These all the things we will discuss. Okay, dear.
Yes, sir.
Is it useful
Yes,
or
sir.
useless?
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Very
Thank you,
useful,
sir.
sir.
Very useful.
Today onwards we have
Thank you,
test,
sir.
ma'am. Today onwards we have test. It may be economic question also will come. Okay, please go
Yes,
through that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, dear.
We will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, thank you. All the information I will update. Whatever we discussed today, please go through once again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, dear.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So whichever topic
Thank you, sir.
I have to cover, but please send it in WhatsApp groups. I will make the notes and I will teach it. Okay, whichever topic you need. Okay, if you need anything, you send it to WhatsApp group. I will make it. Then I will explain these things. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
dear.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.